The upstate of South Carolina is one of the state's 3 major regions, and our region is known for its business, its healthcare, its education, and its industrial economies. There are many wealthy individuals who call the upstate of South Carolina home, and in this video, we are going to review the top 5 most pricey neighborhoods here in the upstate. So if you're planning to spend $1 million or more on your next property here in the upstate of South Carolina, this video is for you. Let's do it. As always, my friends, my name is Will Sawyer, your friend in real estate here in the upstate of South Carolina, and it's our goal with this channel that we are your #1 resource for all the things that you need to know about your relocation to the upstate. We are dedicated to providing you with the most reliable, the most practical, and the most relevant information about the upstate. And hopefully, once you decide to call it your home, I'll be the realtor that you choose to work with. If you like this information, do me a favor, visit my website at willsawyerrealtor.com, where you can do a deeper dive into these communities as you browse around the upstate. So number 5 on the list, and there's no pun intended here, but this area is called Five Forks. And this is the upper part of Simpsonville and the lower part of east side Greenville. So depending on which side of Woodruff Road that you end up living in, you might have a Greenville address or you might have a Simpsonville address. You know, 30 years ago, Five Forks was just a crossroads. And today it still kind of is. There are stoplights and there's a lot of business and commercial space and residential communities in Five Forks. But in recent history, Five Forks wasn't much at all. And in the last 20 years, a lot of this has been developed. And with that have come a lot of premier communities. Five Forks is home to several grocery stores like Publix and Lowe's, where you can get a draft beer while you grocery shop. Home to several local restaurants, several local gyms. There's a lot of stuff to do here. The Mesa Soccer Complex is here, and you're on the tail end of Woodruff Road. So if you need to go shopping on Woodruff Road, or if you need to jump to the airport, or if you need to get on the interstate, you're only about 10 minutes away from any of those things. And not to mention, Five Forks is only about 20 minutes from downtown Greenville. Five Forks is also known for its great school system. You're either going to be zoned for Oakview Elementary or Bells Crossing Elementary, and then your kids will be zoned for J.L. Mann High School or Malden High School. Now, there's a lot of different types of these premier communities. Some of them are gated, some of them are not. However, every one of these communities are going to have world-class amenities like clubhouses and pools. Most of them will have walking trails. There'll be tennis courts and pickleball courts. Some of them might even have gyms in their clubhouses. And there will definitely be either spacious roads to walk on or sidewalks to walk on after you get home from work. Now, these communities are going to be communities like Stonebrook Farm, Stonehaven, Kingsbridge, Kilgore Plantation, Claremont, and more. So number 4 on the list is going to be a few communities that I lumped together just because they're right beside each other, and that is Verde, Parkins Mill, and Gower. Now, Parkins Mill and Gower kind of interchange. This is one of the more established and older communities here in Greenville, with much of the homes that you'll find here have been built in the mid to late 20th century. A lot of these homes are custom brick, traditional, big 2-story houses on more than an acre of land in that Parkins Mill and Gower area. It's also a transitional neighborhood for younger folks who live adjacent to Parkins Mill and Gower and then will oftentimes move up into Parkins Mill or Gower. The location of Parkins Mill and Gower is bar none one of the best in Greenville. You're right off of Lawrence Road, so if you needed to get into downtown Greenville, you're only about 15 minutes away. Plus, you're about 5 minutes away from Interstate 85 if you needed to jump up to the GSP Airport or go to Atlanta. You're also at the butt end of Woodruff Road and Verde Boulevard, so you have super convenient access to all the shopping in Greenville that you would need. Now, next up would be Verde. So Verde is just east of Parkins Mill and Gower. And Verde is, of course, along Verde Boulevard. This is a big master plan community that has been in the works for many, many years. The popular place in Verde is Hollingsworth Park at Verde. And Hollingsworth Park is one of those quintessential American communities where it has two-story homes with attached garages and a backyard, white picket fence, sidewalks throughout the community. And there's also several restaurants. There's a gym, there's a dental office, there's a plastic surgery office, there's a coffee shop in Hollingsworth Park called Chestnut Coffee, and there's a mix of single-family, townhome, and rental units available. And not to mention, there's a large park there with a pond at the bottom of it. And just on the outskirts of Hollingsworth Park is the Manor at Hollingsworth Park, which is by far one of the most esteemed communities in all of Greenville. So people love living in Parkins Mill and Gower and Verde, also for the school systems that they're zoned for. Now, in addition to the public schools like Sarah Collins or Beck or J.L. Mann High School, you're also gonna be very close to the esteemed private schools here in Greenville like St. Joseph's and Christ Church. So number 3 on the list goes without saying, Augusta Road has long been one of the most sought after neighborhoods in Greenville. So if you want to live downtown Greenville, Augusta Road is definitely one of the neighborhoods that you're gonna be looking in, especially if you have a budget to spend of over $1 million. So Augusta Road has long been known for its reputable school systems like Augusta Circle Elementary School, which is the #1 elementary school in the entire state, not to mention its proximity to the esteemed private schools here locally like Christ Church and St. Joseph's. It's also known for its boutiques and its shopping and the conveniences that come with living downtown, like access to a lot of great restaurants like the O5, like the Vista, and so on and so forth. Augusta Road is also one of Greenville's oldest neighborhoods, so along every street you'll find towering oak trees over the streets, which offer a lot of shade and also a lot of tranquility when you're walking after work. Augusta Road's location is also very, very convenient to the hospital system, Prisma Health, and Bon Secours. So just adjacent to the neighborhood are both hospitals. Popular sub-communities within Augusta Road are Chanticleer, which is Greenville Country Club. You have the new townhome community called Biltmore Park. And you also have popular streets like Crescent Avenue and Tallulah Drive. And unlike Five Forks, where most of these luxury communities are going to be larger homes and gated communities that are newer, Augusta Road is going to have luxury homes that could be a 1,500 square foot bungalow, and it also could be a 6,000 square foot sprawling mansion. Many of these homes are going to be older and have been renovated over time, whereas places like Five Forks, those are going to be newer luxury homes. So the homes there wouldn't have undergone as much renovation as they would have in Augusta Road. So moving along, number 2 on our list is Hartness. And we've mentioned Hartness on our channel before. Hartness is right off of Highway 14, just below Interstate 85. And the Hartness family is developing this community. Now, the vision for this community is to be a completely bespoke, one-of-a-kind community in all of South Carolina. And I can't think of really a community that is quite like it. There's going to be hundreds of residential units. There's a hotel, which is called Hotel Hartness, which has been named one of the best resorts in the entire country. There's going to be a fine mix of commercial and retail space as well. And there's already several restaurants in the community like the 1-5 and the Patterson. What just got announced that's going to be built by the Sales Center is the first phase of the commercial development that the Hartness family is starting. Some of the tenants that are going to be there are Brio Internal Medicine. There's also going to be a local coffee shop. There's also going to be Wine House, which is a local wine bar. Hartness is known for hundreds of acres of development, miles and miles of trail systems, several ponds, and several other amenities like a community garden, like the great lawn that they have, where they have their big July 4th fireworks celebration, as well as multiple pools that they have just finished building. Now, if Hartness is a community that interests you, there are a number of lots for sale currently, and there's also a number of homes that are both resale and brand new construction from one of the approved builders in the community. So number 1 on the list where wealthy people live in the upstate of South Carolina is Lake Kii. Now, Lake Kii sits about 45 minutes northwest of Greenville. It's a 19,000 acre lake in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it is one of the most pretty lakes in the entire country. We've talked a lot about Lake Kii on our channel. We're either talking about Greenville or we're talking about Lake Kii, so be sure to check out other videos that we've done on Lake Kii so that you can learn more about Lake Kii. Lake Kii is known for its clear water, its clean water, and its very small fluctuation in water levels. There is a power plant on the lake, so that's why the water quality and the water levels are so highly regulated, which in part makes a lot of sense for you to invest your money here, because you know that your investment is going to be protected because water quality and water levels are highly regulated. So one of the most premier collection of communities that happens to have a few communities on Lake Kii is called the Cliffs. So out at Lake Kii, the Cliffs has Kii Vineyards, Kii Falls, and Kii Springs. There's also a few other communities that are associated with the Cliffs up in the mountains, which is the Cliffs at Mountain Park, the Cliffs Valley, and the Cliffs at Glassy. And there's one Cliffs community in North Carolina called the Cliffs at Walnut Cove. This is a collection of 7 communities that span the mountains and Lake Kii, and owning property in one of these communities grants you membership to all 7. So unlike the other highly exclusive community on Lake Kii, which is called the Reserve at Lake Kii, owning property in the Cliffs not only grants you access to the club that you live in, but also the other 6 that you don't. Now, if you would like membership information for the Cliffs, do me a favor and shoot me an email. I will send you the 2024 membership information packet, and then I'll send you the 2025 one once it's available. And what's really nice about owning property in the Cliffs is if you want to go to the lake one day, you can. If you want to go hike up in the mountains, you can. And then if you wanted to go to Asheville, you could do that too. Now, the other exclusive community on Lake Kii is the Reserve at Lake Kii. All of these communities are going to be on the northern section of the lake. So Lake Kii is kind of broken up into 2 sections, the southern section, which is closer to Seneca and Clemson, and then the northern section, which is closer to Sunset and Pickens. Now, the northern section is full of mountain views. The exclusivity there is much more grand versus the southern section. And the Reserve at Lake Kii sits about 3/4 up the way on the eastern shore of the lake. Now, the Reserve at Lake Kii has been under development for a number of years. There's hundreds of home sites and lot sites there still, and there are over $100 million just in amenities in this community. Now, I'm happy to provide a membership information packet for the Reserve at Lake Kii, so if that is something that you would like, shoot me an email and I'll get that sent over to you. Now, the one consideration for living on the lake is that it is 45 minutes removed from a lot of stuff. Now, if you're on the northern part of the lake, the closest town to you would be Pickens, about 20 minutes away. If you're on the southern part of the lake, the closest town to you would be Seneca, which is a small town, and that'll be about 10 or 15 minutes away. Now, if you needed to come into Greenville, you're about 45 minutes to an hour away to do that big shopping spree or to come downtown to eat. So when you live at Lake Kii, you are at Lake Kii, which most people love. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and it's gorgeous. So there you have it, folks. Those are the priciest neighborhoods in the upstate of South Carolina, and that is where the wealthy look for homes. If you are looking for a house here in the upstate of South Carolina, or if you are going to start that search in the next 3 to 6 months, please do me a favor, shoot me a text or give me a call at my cell phone number below, or shoot me an email at my email below. I would love to chat with you about what your home search here in the upstate could look like. As always, my name is Will Sawyer, your friend in real estate, and until next time, stay safe. Well, this video is going to be about Greenville County, the upstate of South Carolina. Great thing to do and easily in the evening. I'm a local real estate expert here in the area. All time, we're right behind me is a really cool place called Freight Yard.